So we're here at Park Street, one of the main properties for Shalom. It houses over 30 men at any given time. And these particular properties, they need to have communication coming in and out from our office and administration to every one of the residents that live here. So we've devised up a pigeonhole system, one for every resident that lives on the property, where the office might give them a notification of an appointment, letters from various companies, organisations, or even letters from loved ones. Also gives the resident the ability to fill out a form. Might be for a medical request, a Centrelink appointment, even a directions chat. They fill it out in the morning, pop it into the box, and it gets to the office by 9 o'clock, where our staff are going to see and send something back. If we jet over here we have our communication board. This board is responsible for letting each man know where they're going to be throughout the week. So if they're on a paid job, where they're going Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Also lets us know who's in what house, who the leader of that house is, who the main property leader is, and also even the first aid officer. So now we're going to take in a bit of a walk through one of the houses. This is Park 1. Each of the houses are very similar in setup. We have about 10 men living here at any given time, and we'll just show you how they live in the afternoons and the evenings. Going into one of the bedrooms, this is a pretty regular sort of setup. We have 2 men living in any room. The reason we like to put 2, sometimes 3, even 4 if the room allows it together, is so that we can have multiple personalities kind of working, bouncing off each other, keeping conversation. What we don't want is to give a man a room that he can just go away and isolate himself in. It's all good to have personal space, but there comes a time where we actually need to get these guys. We might put 2 in a room where friction, where they don't get along too well. They might struggle to communicate together, and they need to learn ways to get along. So it's a really important part of our program is to get fellas who maybe don't see eye to eye and teach them how to communicate. So here we have a living space. So these are set up for really comfortable living. You might have guys in the evening play a game of pool or watch a movie, read a book, go for a quick walk around the manicured property. But this is a nice time to relax, just chill out, get your chores done, set up for the evening, get ready for work tomorrow. As we go upstairs into the dining and kitchen area, as you can see, these men keep the properties immaculate. Now, we don't get cleaners in. The men are responsible for upkeeping and maintaining each of their own houses. They're responsible for doing the floors, the dishes, cooking the meals, making sure that everything is prepped and ready for tomorrow. And the way that you see it right now, this is how it is left on a daily basis. We get our property leaders go through and do checks of all of our properties every single day. They check that the beds are made, that the kitchens are tidy, that everything is swept, clean and left in the way that it should be. This teaches the men how to keep a cleanly life, cleanly appearance, and a lot of the guys that come in the program, they haven't had that background, they haven't had that education. And so we actually set them up with a very organised board. So these boards will let us know who is on what duty for the particular day. It might be that they're in house chores for bins, wipe down, upstairs bathroom. They might be on kitchen duties, clean up. And this particular house is one for fellas who are struggling in their fitness, struggling to lose weight. And so we might actually put them in here simply so that they can develop healthy eating habits, healthy lifestyle, get them exercising, working out and living well. These also go over what the responsibilities of each of the roles are within the house, a 1IC and a 2IC responsibility, and how each of those are required to have the house functioning well. So as you can see, there's a lot that goes into the living standard of every single resident that comes into our properties. Everything is overseen, everything is maintained. We go through everything from the activities that are listed, where they're going on a weekend, is family night on this week, are they going out to a particular church, an outing, to the beach. We need to have all that mapped out and organised, and the guys need to be aware so they can get themselves ready. So it's a massive task just for the house leaders, but they do an exceptional job. So welcome to Forest Street, another one of Shalom House's main properties. At any given time, we might have up to 20 men living in this property. It's divided up into 2 houses, and all the men live harmoniously in this particular dwelling. So we've got a large pool for the fellas to do their laps in. A beautiful thing to do on your day off, or if you've got some free time, jump in the pool, have a bit of a swim. As we go through, we'll take you through to one of our lounge rooms. This is just a good space for the boys to rest and relax and and spend their off time. As we come through, we have a gym setup. Now, the special thing with the gym is that 90% of the men aren't allowed to use the gym. It's mainly there to tease the fellas, to make sure that they're not going to use the gym, put that temptation in front of them. If you get a house full of men all working out together, you're going to get a rooster. And that rooster is that one guy that comes walking in a bit bigger, a bit tougher, a bit more than the other fellas. And we all want to be chickens here. And so for the time that they're here, unless it's medically recommended, the boys aren't going to be doing any muscle building workouts. It's just not part of our ethos at Shalom. So we'll take you through one of the slightly larger rooms that we have. This is a 4-bedroom room. It adds an extra dynamic. The more people you have in a small dwelling, the more communication needed, the more problem solving, the more issues that are going to rise to the surface. And as I said before, this place is all about working out your issues, working out the way that you communicate, getting frustrated at something, but learning how to not to communicate out of a place of emotion, out of a place of anger, out of a place of frustration. So we might put someone in this room that either A, needs a little bit of extra attention, B, is a bit more of an isolator, so they might be the type of person who doesn't particularly like the friendship dynamics, and so we're going to put them in here and force them into a place where they're actually quite uncomfortable and need to operate and learn how to communicate in a different way. So we'll take you through, a bit like Park Street. Every house needs a way of communicating with the administration and with the office centre, and so this house, a bit like Park Street, has a pigeonhole system where every resident is given a pigeonhole. They might get mail come in, whatever it might be, from the office, and they also have the ability, once again, to write out a slip and send it in for communication. It might just be, can I get my mum added to the phone call list, or can I have a chat to my mentor this week? So whatever it is, we try and see to that as quickly as possible. Here we have another communication board. It simply says who's in the house, who the leaders are, who the resident care officer is, and who the first aid officer is. We'll also schedule out where each of the residents are going to be throughout the week, what work they've been given, mainly paid work. Make sure we get them to that as quickly as possible. So this is kind of the brain of the house, and make sure that the boys are communicating properly with the rest of the organisation. So we're in the kitchen at Forest Street, where we have Brett cooking up a storm. Each night the boys are going to be rostered on to do their particular chores, and Brett seems to be rostered on for cooking tonight. He's cooking for at least 10 men if you have a look in the oven, doing up some chicken, just a bit of beautiful food. And the good part about this is actually teaching the men how to do something as basic as cook up a meal, especially cooking up a meal for multiple people, so when they do get back out to their families, they can really treat them to a home cooked meal that they learn how to cook while at Shalom. They need to be able to search through the stores that are fully stocked and be able to go, okay, I need to use my creativity, I need to be able to map some stuff together and go, all right, this is what we're going to be eating tonight. So it really teaches the men some skills that they're not going to get anywhere else. It's a bit of that home economics that maybe they missed out on at school. So a really worthwhile thing, just getting the guys working and getting them busy, especially while they're at home doing their chores.